Our next session brings together constitutional tradition and digital innovation, two forces that are shaping the future of governance in India. In an age where technology is transforming how governments think, decide and deliver, Maharashtra has of course emerged as a laboratory for digital democracy, from e-Vidhan reforms and data-driven policy making to Web 3.0 enabled citizen services. At the heart of this transformation and a lot of digital initiatives is a young and dynamic leader who embodies the spirit of both continuity and change. He's a lawyer by training, a reformer by instinct and speaker by conviction, one of the youngest ever to preside over a state legislature in India. And under his leadership, the Maharashtra Assembly has taken major strides towards paperless sessions, digital transparency, and citizen-centric governance. He represents the Kolaba constituency in South Mumbai. He's been a strong advocate for modern, transparent, and tech-driven governance, and also with adequate safeguards. The Maharashtra Assembly, of course, has taken a lot of reformist moves under his leadership. Ladies and gentlemen, may I invite on stage the Speaker of the Maharashtra Assembly, Rahul Narwekar. Firstly, Rahul, thanks so much for making the time and for gracing us with your presence. It means a great deal for us as this is our inaugural India Web 3.0 Summit. We are, of course, in the capital city of a state which has defined itself as a digital capital of India. The Chief Minister, Devendra Fadnavis, has taken upon himself the target of Maharashtra being the first fully land tokenized state in the country. So tell me, as the Speaker of the Maharashtra Assembly, you preside over one of the most important legislative houses in this country, in the economic powerhouse of the country. What does digital governance mean for you in the context of Maharashtra and in the wider national context?
Well, good evening to you as well as all the distinguished guests present here today in the city of Mumbai. Needless to state, I must first congratulate you all for taking up an issue which is paramount for the aspirations of all Indians of making India the superpower, economic superpower in the days to come. And this is only possible if we implement the right digitalization programs at the right pace. So congratulations for taking up an issue which is important to everyone. To take your question head on, I think digitalization is no more a choice but a compulsion for every state, for every country which aspires to grow and perhaps lead the world economically or otherwise. Having said that, India is an aspirational society. Today we are the fourth largest economy in the world. By 2027, we aspire to be the third largest economy in the world. And by 2047, we aspire to be a fully developed nation. Keeping these goals in mind, one would find it difficult to achieve these without a proper program for digitalization. We've seen the benefits of these digitalization programs. Let me just give you a small example. As the Speaker of the State Legislative Assembly, as a presiding officer, when I took up office, I saw that it was almost impossible for a common man to have access to debates, legislations, discussions which have taken up on the floor of the House. In a democracy, it is the representatives of the people who make laws for them, who decide policies, and if a common man does not have access to this information, I don't think the spirit of democracy can be celebrated in its real form. And we took up this program of digitalization in the state legislature, where now we have digitalized data from 1937 to 2025. All the debates which have taken place on the floor of the House, all the legislations that have been passed on the floor of the House, all the discussions that have taken place, all the motions, all the resolutions that have been passed are now available on a click from 1947 to date. So every individual who has to seek information on any issue which can be used in the courts of law, which can be used perhaps for setting up an example, for policy making, for giving suggestions, is now available to the common man. This will not only give access to the common man, but will enhance the spirit of democracy, shall enhance good governance, which shall ultimately result in the overall progress of a state or a country. Therefore, digitalization is important at every sphere. If you look at the government of Maharashtra, we have huge land records available today, all online. There was a day when you had to run to the Tehsil office, to the Talati office for getting a single 712 extract. Today that is available to you online, sitting in your boardroom or in your office, you can access it. This has not only made information available, this has saved time, this has of course controlled a lot of red tapeism and perhaps corruption to a great extent, and therefore this is the route for progress of the country and the state.
So, along with the historical data which has been, or the historical records that have been digitalized, you of course have also presided over the embrace of e-Vidhan in the Maharashtra Assembly as part of several other states which have also done that, but you've embraced that with a lot of enthusiasm. I think the Prime Minister also took a personal interest in that. If you can tell us a little bit about that and what it means for the legislative lawmaking process.
So, as we all are aware that India has adopted the federal structure of governance, where we have state governments, where we have a central national government, and each of them functioning as a legislative body that legislates for its state, and the center legislates for the country at large. And the Honorable Prime Minister had a very clear vision that if federalism has to be protected and developed in its right scope and idea, then transparency as well as availability of information of legislative bodies should be made easily accessible on a common platform. So I think e-Vidhan is a platform where all the legislative bodies in the country, information will be available on a common platform. Sitting in Maharashtra, I would be able to access the information of the legislature in Andhra Pradesh, Telangana, Punjab, and it will also work towards providing, enhancing the working culture and efficiency of every legislative body. So I think in a democracy, we have three wings. We have the executive, legislature, judiciary. And more the transparency in each of these wings will definitely result in progress and strengthening democratic values in the country.
So digital governance, of course, is not just about tech. It is also about building trust. With tech, of course, we've seen a huge expansion of digital public infrastructure with Aadhaar, with UPI, with direct benefit transfers, and so on and so forth. How can innovations like, in your view, innovations like blockchain, open data systems, smart contracts, to what extent can they enhance transparency and accountability in our public institutions for larger public good?
Well, when we talk about transparency, it has to be looked in two folds, I believe. Transparency brings in trust. Now, transparency has to be there with regards to the data that is available and that data being protected. Because at the end of the day, a government or the law enforcing agency or the administrative bodies have limitations to the information that would be available. So unless this is a voluntary process where the community at large participates, we really won't be able to have a huge data bank that we would necessarily aspire for the optimal usage of this platform. So one, this of course enhances transparency with regards to the administration where information is freely available. So I think when the Right to Information Act was introduced about 2 decades back, or at that point of time, if the digitalization program was as aggressive, maybe that legislation would not even be necessary. Today, with this information available, It's on a click of a button that you get that. Under the Right to Information Act, you had to apply, you had to ask for information, it would be given to you. But under the digitalization programs, this information would be available to you at the click of a button.
So you make an important point. And I think you began by talking about Maharashtra's larger economic vision. So let me ask you a larger question that Maharashtra has an avowed ambition of reaching $1 trillion economy size by 2029. How important is this move toward digitization and digital economy, data centers and so on within that larger vision, and where do you see that going?
So, insofar as Maharashtra is concerned, I take extreme pride in stating that Maharashtra stands to still lead as being one of the most industrialized states in the country. It's number one when it comes to FDI, foreign direct investments. It contributes significantly to the GDP of the country. Mumbai itself contributes almost 14% of the GDP of the country. It, of course, houses the financial capital of the country. And having said that, Maharashtra today aspires to be a $1 trillion economy in the next few years. Maharashtra today has one of the largest ports in Asia coming up. Maharashtra today has one of the finest state-of-the-art industrial network available in the country, and therefore there is a lot riding on Maharashtra when India's economic progress is concerned. Having said that, if Maharashtra really wants to achieve this vision and this dream, it is very important for us to embark quickly and efficiently on the story of digitalization. And while we say that, while I speak about digitalization, while I speak about data assimilation, while I talk about data being available easily to the people at large, I would like to make a larger point out here. It's not only important and paramount to make data available, but it's even more important to work towards data protection. And that is what is going to drive the next economic surge or leadership in the world. Today, unfortunately, the data that our country perhaps has, which our state has, to secure it, the infrastructure is not adequate to have it within our boundaries. A lot of it is beyond our boundaries. Today, our data should be restricted to our boundaries. And if we can achieve that, we would be securing ourselves in all possible manner. So data protection, creating as many new data centers is very, very essential, which I think Maharashtra would be looking forward in the times to come. I think the way ahead globally, wars are no more going to be fought on the fields, on the borders, but they would also be significantly fought on the basis of data that is available with each country. So I think it's paramount, it's significant, it's very important to ensure that data protection is also looked upon very seriously, as seriously, if not more, with regards to creation of data banks.
So, Rahul, you mentioned earlier in your exposition about the right to information and how if there had been far more technology available then the shape of that may have been very different. So, my question to you is, and this is my last question of the evening really, that given the state of technology where it is now, given the huge benefits of digitization that we have seen, given the kind of reforms that you yourself have presided over in your space in the legislature, where do you see the next 3 or 4 or 5 years unfolding for Maharashtra and India, and India's role in the next phase of evolution for the internet?
Well, as we all know, India, as we speak today, is one of the leading exporters of software technology. Indian talent is working all over the world, may it be the Silicon Valley, may it be Europe, or may it be the Far East. Indian talent is seen working in this sphere around the world. India happens to be the youngest populous society in the world today, with an average mean population of about 29 years. United States of America standing at 34 and China standing at 41. So we are the youngest nation in the world today. And if we have to use this demographic advantage to enhance our economic goals, we need to convert this youngest population into skilled youngest population. And believe me, if we can convert this youngest population to a skilled young population, India will be the power engine for growth in the world. There won't be a single economy which will be able to work without Indian human resource. So focus of Maharashtra also is on converting young population into skilled population, especially in the field which is very conducive to the conditions available in Maharashtra, where we are focusing towards software-related education and skilling of individuals. And I think that is the way forward for economic as well as overall progress of the state and the country.
Well, that's a great upbeat note to end this session on. Ladies and gentlemen, a big hand for Rahul Narwekar.
Thank you so much.